U.S. President Donald Trump says Washington will pass on Ukraine if efforts to end the war don't yield positive results soon.
Iran is seeking support from Russia over a possible nuclear deal ahead of a second round of talks with the United States. Christians around the world held processions on Good Friday to commemorate the crucifixion of Jesus Christ.
U.S. President Donald Trump says that Washington may have to, quote, take a pass on Ukraine as he shares that ceasefire negotiations are coming to a head. His remarks came after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned on Friday that the U.S. may have to move on from ceasefire efforts if no progress is made in the coming days. Trump called any party that decides to make negotiations difficult fools, but reiterated his desire to see things through. The 47th U.S. president says that he's hopeful his administration's efforts will yield positive results. He insisted that he does not feel like he's being played by either party, particularly Russia, and believes there is a genuine enthusiasm for peace on both ends. Trump stopped short of fully committing to Washington's permanent backing out. Questioned by reporters in the Oval Office on whether the U.S. is prepared to completely withdraw from its initiative to end the war, Trump said, "I don't want to say that," adding that he wants to see an end to the fighting. The U.S. president also declined to share Washington's policy towards Ukraine in the event that a deal is not reached.
Iran is seeking support from Russia over a possible nuclear deal ahead of a second round of talks with the United States this weekend. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said he briefed his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov about the first round of talks held in Oman. He also met with Russian President Vladimir Putin, delivering a message from Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
این هم یک پیام بود به جناب آقای پوتین و هم یک پیام بود به همه دنیا که ایران روسیه رو شریک اصلی و راهبردی خودش میدونه و در مسائل مهم مشورت میکنه.
Lavrov said Russia was ready to mediate and assist in the nuclear talks, and that Putin was very pleased with the meeting with Araghchi. Araghchi praised Russia's role in the landmark 2015 nuclear deal that led to lifting of sanctions in return for Tehran's cap on its nuclear activities. As Holy Week celebrations continue, Christians around the world held processions on Good Friday to commemorate the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Some traditional processions see people carrying crosses or even reenacting the crucifixion, as is done in parts of the Philippines. In Mexico, Catholics in the town of Taxco carried large bundles of thorny branches as they walked barefoot, and some flagellated themselves to emulate the suffering of Jesus carrying the cross. In Jerusalem, worshippers walked along the Via Dolorosa, where tradition says Jesus took his final steps as he carried the cross to his crucifixion. In the Spanish village of Calanda, over 1,000 people have gathered around the local church with drums, producing rhythms that will last 26 hours without pauses. Holy Week culminates on Sunday with the celebration of Easter.
Parts of northwestern Italy have been hit by severe weather following warnings for thunderstorms. Flooding, evacuations, road closures and landslides have affected the regions of Liguria and Piedmont, where over 100 municipalities had red warnings in place for flooding. Local media also reported that an elderly man had been found dead in his flooded home in a town not far from Turin. Since Wednesday, more than 300 rescue operations have been completed, most of them in the region of Piedmont. Meanwhile, dumps of heavy snowfall hit Italy's southern Alps, France and Switzerland on Thursday. In France, avalanche warnings were issued across multiple resorts in the Alps. In Switzerland, snow disrupted road and rail travel and cut power to several areas in Canton Valley.